안녕하세요 여러분, 엠쌤입니다. Hi everyone, Margarita here, and this week I'm back with quite an extraordinary video. Okay, that was not even funny. About a month ago, I uploaded a story on Instagram sharing my excitement about getting my hands on these beauties, which are from the Ordinary skincare line, which is a brainchild of a Canadian company, the DCM, who happen to call themselves the Abnormal Beauty Company. Alright. And as a response to my story, so many of you have asked me to do a review of these products, to share with you how I felt about them, did they work for my skin or not, so that's exactly what I'm going to be doing today. And before I begin, I just want to quickly share a few of my personal thoughts about The Ordinary as a brand. If you're one of those people who do not like to hear me blabber for a while, just like in any of my other beauty or skincare videos, I've provided timestamps for all of you who want to just jump into the review straight away. You're welcome. So I found out about The Ordinary around a year ago from one of my favorite Korean YouTube beauty gurus called Leah Yu, and she was just so excited about the entire idea behind the brand. The skincare geek in her spoke to the skincare geek in me, and I knew I had to try this brand. But at the same time, I felt like this brand just can't be true. Ever since I can remember myself, I've been bombarded by so many different stories from so many different brands everywhere around me. And with the proliferation of the internet and the social media, God, that has amplified. And at some point later down the line, I just realized that I am tired of constantly feeling like brands are trying to convince me of something, sell me something, target me, appeal to me, or just convert me into something. Influence my life, influence my decisions, influence my identity and my relationships. I mean, we don't even realize how much power we're actually putting in the hands of brands nowadays. But when I stumbled upon The Ordinary, I felt this calm sensation because they're all about simplicity and functionality, and no marketing frills, no fancy packaging, no gimmicks, and just really strange and out of this world product names, which can get especially absurd in the beauty industry. So I really couldn't believe my ears when I heard Leah Yu speak about The Ordinary as excitedly as she was, so I went out and did my own research, and man, it's true! They exist! And they really do believe in the most simplest approach of giving people what they need, no more, no less, at the most affordable price point I've ever seen, with absolutely no outrageous claims or super enticing stories. And I understand that part of branding is to sell an incredibly appealing story, but in the case of Ordinary, they're selling something much more. They're literally turning every single person's skincare routine into a science experiment. They're appealing to the skincare geek in me, and they're also appealing to this very cautious part of me as a young person who has a decently good skin, but who still wants to kind of do something about it to preserve it and make sure that it kind of stays like that for another 10 or 20 years at least. But every time I go to a drugstore or any specific skincare brand, I just get so overwhelmed with all these strange names of products and beautifying serums and essences, and don't even get me started on ampules. I get worried that I don't know what I'm putting on my face and whether I'll have a bad reaction to it, and I just feel like I don't have control. I have no power. But when I grab a little bottle of Ordinary, it just says that I'm going to be putting Ascorbyl Glucoside solution 12% on my face. And at the back, it says exactly what it's gonna do. Done. In a way, it gives back the power of choice and decision to me as a consumer of what I choose to put on my face and how I choose to deal with any possible issues or problems I may be having. Whether The Ordinary intended to do this or not, they really struck that bell with me as a consumer. Their name, man, I can go on and on about their name. It both stands for their core brand essence of simplicity and functionality and just, you know, being ordinary and making it okay to be ordinary, but then at the same time juxtaposing that with what they're trying to communicate with their products, because trust me, their products are anything but ordinary. All of them have been developed through highly innovative means. For example, the Hyaluronic Acid 2% plus B5. This is a multimolecular hyaluronic acid, which is a new generation of hyaluronic acid that has been developed by The Ordinary specifically because older types of hyaluronic acid were just too big of molecules to penetrate our skin, and they weren't really giving people the desired effects of moisturizing and hydration that they wanted. So bottom line, the reason why I love and will always support a brand like The Ordinary is because they're true to their core brand value of simplicity and functionality, no frills, no outrageous promises, just you and whatever you want to do with your skin and your beauty that doesn't rinse off. How cute is that? Alright, now to the exciting part, the review. So when I went to The Ordinary store, I knew exactly the concerns I wanted to tackle. For me personally, I thought I had dry skin, extremely dry skin at that, flaky skin, not really sensitive or oily, but because of the dryness, skin that is prone to wrinkles, early signs of these really deep wrinkles on my forehead and specifically underneath my eyes. You guys probably can't see it because the sun is so bright. What is happening with London? Why is this so yellow? So I wanted to find products in The Ordinary line that could cater to moisturizing, hydrating my skin deeply from within, and trying to tackle the early signs of wrinkles and fine lines and some dark circles and puffiness underneath my eyes. So I'm gonna go in order of how I actually use these products in my nighttime skincare routine because I mostly use them at night. Some of them I do use during the day, so let's start with night. First, of course, I go in with a regular toner, which is not from The Ordinary skincare line, and then I go in with a Buffet. This is one of their best-selling products, and I can definitely see why. It is the only product that has a combination of different, somewhat active ingredients, whereas all the other ones are kind of like one-hit wonders, where they just target one specific issue and it's just one specific active ingredient. Here, on the other hand, the Buffet is a serum treatment for fine lines and wrinkles. I was very excited about this guy. I thought, oh my god, my forehead is gonna be beautiful and smooth, and under my eyes there'll be no little creases that my concealer always gets into. It is pretty much The Ordinary's only multifunctional product, and as much as I liked it, and I still like it and I still use it, I've actually used pretty much half of it, I didn't really see any results in terms of what it claims to do. It claims to help with fine lines and wrinkles. I still have the fine lines and wrinkles in all the places that there used to be. I understand it's not a magical formula, but I kind of wanted to see some kind of results. So if any of you guys have used this product and have experienced anything, do let me know. It is hydrating and moisturizing, at least I think so, because it's not drying. Let's just put it at that. It doesn't dehydrate my already dehydrated skin, so I didn't feel any reaction to it. Its consistency is quite interesting, where it's really well absorbing, but it's a bit goopy when it comes out of the tube and it just kind of sits on your skin as a little blob, but as soon as you rub it in, it's just in your skin, absorbed, done. No residue, no tackiness or stickiness, nothing. This is a peptide serum though, so when it comes to peptides, they help regenerate the skin barrier, and they do help with elasticity and firmness. So that is something I did notice on my skin. I would say that it appears plump and lively and very elastic. After I put on the Buffet, I use the Hyaluronic Acid 2% with B5 vitamin, and this is, I would say, the product that any person with dry or dehydrated skin should use, because this is going to pretty much save your skin. The thing that intrigued me the most about this specific hyaluronic acid is that this is a multimolecular formula where the molecules here are of different sizes, so they penetrate your skin on different levels. Some of the smaller particles go much deeper in your skin and some of the bigger ones kind of stay on top. So that causes your skin to get hydrated and moisturized from much deeper levels of your skin, which is something that my skin really needed. I've heard some people complain about its texture because, I don't know if you could see that, it is very tacky. Like, there's a line that comes out of it the moment I touch something, and it just, woo! It does feel very sticky on the skin the moment you apply it. Some people don't like this consistency. I usually don't leave hyaluronic acid on my face just like that on its own, because hyaluronic acid is very environment dependent, where if you live in a dry climate, like we do here in London, it is actually going to draw moisture out of your skin to plump up the outer layer of your skin temporarily, and then over long term your skin is just gonna end up being really dehydrated because the moisture gets drawn from outside. Because this guy, its purpose in life is to draw moisture, and where it draws it from, it doesn't care. So if your environment is humid, it's gonna draw the moisture from your environment and keep your face super hydrated, super moisturized at all times. But if it's a dry climate, yeah, I wouldn't just leave this guy on my face without any other additional moisturizing agents that it could draw moisture from. So speaking about moisturizing agents, this is the Ordinary's Natural Moisturizing Factors plus HA, which is pretty much a cream. By the way, none of the Ordinary skincare products have any smell, or if they do have a smell, it's a very natural and sometimes even a little unpleasant smell. There's no additional perfumes added, by no means at all. I don't like skincare that smells like it's not skincare. So I've heard a lot of people on the internet refer to this as a light moisturizer. For me personally, this was quite heavy. And this is when I realized that maybe me thinking that my skin has always been dry throughout my life was just a huge misunderstanding on my part. I think my skin is actually normal, but it's just severely dehydrated because until I really started getting into skincare maybe around a year ago, I just didn't do anything to my face. Nothing, just washing with water every morning and that's it. Going from that to using quite a few moisturizing products did feel a bit unusual for me. I just felt like, oh, every time I'm going to sleep, I just have this layer of grease and moisture on my face that it took a bit of time to get used to. I would not probably use this in the summer. I would keep this for the winter because for me it is as moisturizing as it needs to be. Anything heavier than that and I will just drown in grease. It is very lightweight though, it is very, very absorbent. I really enjoyed using it and it really did bring my dehydrated skin to the level where it just stopped being dehydrated. I stopped feeling the flakiness, I stopped being able to actually just take a part of my skin and peel it off. So in terms of these two, they are kind of my holy grails when it comes to moisturizing. They brought my skin from complete disaster of being super dehydrated to what it is now, where I'm actually beginning to be more convinced that I have normal skin. Oh my god, who would have thought? Next, I would normally go in with the Caffeine Solution 5% plus EGCG, which is meant to tackle this specific area and the puffiness or dark circles in that area. I've heard mixed reviews about this guy and I myself have a bit of mixed feelings about it. As you can see, I used really little of it because I literally use one drop on my palm and then I just gently massage it into this area all around. It's not irritating to the eyes. Like if I accidentally get it like onto my waterline, I wouldn't say that my eye is like burning and I'm like, oh no, I have to take it off. It's quite gentle in that sense, but I have heard of some people saying that there is some research that warns people of using caffeine around their eyes. This is a very gentle skin. This is the most gentle skin on your body. So when I heard that, I was a bit concerned. I would not say that it specifically tackled my dark circles. It did, though, get rid of the puffiness under the eyes, especially when I don't get enough sleep. Lastly, not every day, but I do use the Lactic Acid 5% plus HA. This is meant to even out the tone and texture of your skin. I specifically got this for the flakiness that I had while my skin was dehydrated. I would apply this on the areas where I would get the most flaky, like in between my eyebrows, on my cheeks, and right on top of my chin. I didn't feel any tingling or irritation. Maybe once I did when the first time I used it, and also, by the way, this is the lowest formulation that they have of this. This is the 5%. They also have the 10%, which I've heard is death in a bottle. Rips off your face. Literally. Yes, apart from the first time that I've ever used it, I did not feel any more of the tingling or burning sensations or anything. And the next morning I wake up and there is a little bit of peeling that I need to do with my finger, but it's nothing excessive. It was a bit more when I did have dehydrated and flaky skin, but now that I've moisturized and I've exfoliated and I've gotten rid of that top layer of completely just dead skin, I use this less. I used to use it maybe 2-3 times a week. Now I use it once a week. I just don't need it any more often, but I quite enjoy it. I like it. The consistency is incredibly runny and watery. It's just water. It feels like just water and absorbs really well. Alright, so I did mess up a little bit the order of how I use these products because I already talked about the natural moisturizing factors. This is the moisturizer that I put on top after I did the buffet, the hyaluronic acid, the caffeine solution, and then the lactic acid sometimes. Then I go in with the moisturizing factors and I am done for the night. The next morning I wake up, I wash my face and cleanse it. I think currently I use the CosRX Good Morning Cleanser, the gentle one. It's pretty good, pretty bubbly, pretty gentle, no complaints. And then I go in with a little bit of a mist toner and I go in with the Ascorbyl Glucoside Solution 12%. This guy is meant to fight dullness, dark spots, and hyperpigmentation because this is a derivative of vitamin C, which is meant for brightening your skin, brightening the complexion. I believe that this is one of the 4 vitamin C derivatives that The Ordinary has, and I also think it is the mildest one. The reason why I picked it is because I've never used vitamin C derivatives ever in my life. My skin is very, very light, very bright, I would hope to think. So I never really felt the need to brighten it and lighten it anymore, but after moving to London, specifically in the winter, I did notice that the brightness of my skin has gone down a little bit, so I wanted to see if I could get myself into vitamin C derivatives gently and slowly, and this seemed like the perfect option for that, for like a vitamin C beginner. I put it on in the morning because then I can put my sunscreen on top of it and it just kind of helps vitamin C derivative do its own thing. I did have a strange breakout when I did start using these guys for the very, very first time, and it happened on my chin, and I thought that it was because of all of this, but it wasn't. It was actually my scarf. It got really, really cold here in the UK, and I was wearing my scarf constantly around my face, like right up about here, and as I would walk, it would kind of like rub against my chin, and you know, with scarves, you sometimes kind of like put them on your coat. When you take it off, it falls off on the floor, you pick it up, you put it back on, and you know, it rubs against your chin, and there you go, you have all these breakouts. So I don't know if you guys can see it through camera, but I have a dark spot from a terrible, terrible multi-spotted spot. It was like one thing popped out, and then as soon as it sort of started to die out, another thing popped out right next to it. And I was just like, are you kidding me? And that happened like 3 times. So there's quite a big dark spot right here. So I do try to treat it with this guy. Have not yet seen outrageous results, like it's not gone, but I have been using it for not so long, and it is the mildest and the least strongest form of vitamin C derivative. So I'm not expecting really, really strong results, but overall it doesn't irritate my skin, it doesn't do anything bad for the skin, so I will continue using it until it either runs out or oxidizes, because right now, as you can see, it is clear or a little bit milky, but the moment it becomes dark orange or yellow, that means the guy is oxidized. Have to throw it out, but hopefully I will run out of it before that happens. Alright, well that was it for my review of The Ordinary collection. Those of you who have seen my little rant or little story time about my fascination and affinity for The Ordinary brand, you guys know what I think about it. I really like what they stand for, I really like their brand essence, and their products are very gentle, at least the ones that I've used. They have helped me so much. Otherwise, do let me know what your experience were with Ordinary. Have you tried this brand? Do you have any brand favorites? Share them in the comment section. I would really, really love to have a little geeky scientific chat with you all. Otherwise, I hope you all are having the most wonderful day. I hope you're all staying happy and healthy, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye! 안녕!